On behalf of the City of Mount Sterling and the Neylon Farms developers, we appreciate you taking the time today to be here for the groundbreaking of Neylon Farms. This is a day with the cumulative of months of planning and meetings of many organizations to make this day possible. I would like to take just a minute to recognize those groups, and hopefully I will not leave anyone out. Those parties include the Springfield Catholic Diocese and the Holy Family Parish leadership, the Mount Sterling City Council and the city's leadership, the TIF Economic Development Group led by Steve Klein, the Brown County School District, the Mount Sterling Park District, the Brown County Library Board, and the County Board and its department leaders, the Brown County Soil and Water Conservation District, Klinger Engineering, and the Brown County Economic Development Team. The collaborative efforts of every one of these organizations has made this day and Neylon Farms possible. First, I'd like to introduce Mr. Lance Grady, a community leader and a member of the Neylon Farms Advisory Group. He will share some words.
Well, thank you, Dane. Thank you all for being here today. It's truly a significant day in the history of our community. It's a day that I think we will look back on and see that we sincerely changed the trajectory of where Mount Sterling is headed. A day that we can look back on and say we've always faced a barrier to population growth. And I think today is the day that we can look back and say that we started to fix that problem. I'd like to give a special thank you to Mayor Matt Bradbury, the city administrator, Veda Yingling, and all of the city council. They just work tirelessly for the betterment of our community. And anytime something like this is brought up to our city council, they're always standing ready to work hand in hand with whoever that is to see the vision of our community continue to be a vision of success. In recent history, we've watched something not only in the Midwest, but nationwide in small communities. And it's something that's unfortunate, but we've watched small communities start to experience a decline, not only economically, but in population and other areas. And in Mount Sterling, if you look around, we've just been so fortunate to see the polar opposite of that. We've got to see businesses build brand new buildings in our community. We've got to see small business owners take the leap of faith and start a small business here and grow here and thrive here and succeed here. We've got to see businesses from neighboring communities that say we want to make Mount Sterling our home, and they've came here and experienced success here. Most recently, we've watched a streetscape uptown make our town all the much more beautiful than it already was, something that changed the whole vision for when you drive into Mount Sterling. So we've got to experience all this success and all this growth and all of these good things happening. And with that has came only one hindrance. And it's something that we've heard numerous times over. There's been needs assessments completed. There's been community surveys completed over the last 10 to 15 years. And the one thing that we always face as an obstacle is the housing opportunity for people to move to Mount Sterling. And as a local real estate broker, I've got to see that firsthand. I've got to see people that want to call Mount Sterling home, but they can't find that house, that perfect house that they want to move into. I've got to see people that own homes in Mount Sterling and would like to upgrade, but they can't find that next step. And today is the day that we turn the chapter on that being a need and that being something that we can fulfill. A commitment to housing is truly a commitment to the future of a community. And in a community our size and in a development of this size, that makes the future look that much more bright. As we look back across this landscape, it's exciting to see 51 homes that will be built out here. And that is a super invigorating thing to think about. But what I want to challenge you with is more than thinking about the 51 homes that will be constructed out here. I want us to think about the hundreds of people that will call those houses homes, the people that will drive our community forward economically, the kids that will enroll in our school district, the folks that will get involved in local not-for-profits and make a difference that way. I know I speak on behalf of myself and the whole committee. As we think about Neylon Farms, we don't think of the success of Neylon Farms as 51 homes. We think of the success of Neylon Farms as the folks that live in those homes, and they get to experience that success. Today marks a milestone that I'm so proud that we all get to be a part of. It's a day that the most significant investment in housing that has ever been made in Mount Sterling is happening. It's a day that, as I said, a commitment to housing is a commitment to the future. Today we turn another exciting page on Mount Sterling's future, knowing that we can give those people an opportunity that want to experience this as their home, that opportunity. Thank you guys again for being here. I'd like to introduce you to somebody that is a fierce advocate for the success of Mount Sterling, somebody that has chaired the Neylon Farms committee and done such a great job of helping tie all this together, becoming a dream and a conversation multiple years ago to bringing that to the reality that we get to see here today. So that's Pat Tracy.
Thank you, Lance. That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Hard to follow,
Good.
isn't it?
Good. Yeah, it is. Good job, Lance. I begin to understand now why he's pretty good at selling houses. He's got that silver tongue going, and that was just excellent. So, well, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate that. In a community, any community, it takes people that are interested in the plight of the community, whether it be something that's very specific to them and their family, or whether it's because they care about the community. And so just your presence here indicates that you're certainly in that group that cares about this community, and whether it affects them, very directly or indirectly. So thank you for your participation in this. And we're going to ask you to be salespeople before you leave here, just so you know. So keep that in mind. But this is really a dream come true that we're dealing with right now. Being here before you and having this property here and the big moving dirt moving equipment behind us is a dream come true. But I wouldn't really frame this as a dream come true for myself or for our committee or for even the city necessarily. It's really a dream come true for up to 51 new homeowners here. People that have been thinking about building a home for a long time, but there's not been a place to build one. People who have been, their family's grown and they've outgrown the size of their present property, haven't had that opportunity. Or maybe even that family, maybe the kids have grown up and maybe gone away or have their own homes right now with their families, and the couple are by themselves and they're ready to downsize and they'd like to have a nice home in a consistent neighborhood. These are all opportunities, and so we like to think about this work as being fulfilling dreams for those 51 people that would be out here with homes. But in addition to that, it goes beyond, because as we find numerous people that would elect in our city and county here to make a decision to come out and build a home, they'll have a home for sale. And having that home for sale might be the dream for another family that is maybe going to be a first-time homeowner. Maybe it's someone that, again, has got smaller space than they need for a growing family, and they need to find a larger home to move to, etc. So they'll move into those other homes, and that will free up other homes. And this will really be helpful for our overall housing market and provide the opportunity with these homes built here and that activity, hopefully to see home values appreciate here in Mount Sterling going forward. It's also a dream come true for many people that have been coming to Mount Sterling on a regular basis, but they travel here. They travel here every day. They commute here, sometimes from large distances away. And they come here to work. They come here to play. They come here to see family and friends. And we would like to invite them in so that they can make this their home too, their physical home, where they're with their family or raising their family, and make that commute like a 1 minute or 2 minute commute to wherever they might be working to or wherever they're going to play, whatever it might be. So we're really looking forward to that. However, most of all, we really see this as something that benefits not just the homeowners I'm just talking about, those future homeowners, really benefits the community. There's great opportunity from that standpoint. you think about it, we one of the things we did here just a year ago in trying to prepare for this was we actually built 2 new homes in Mount Sterling and on East North Street. And with those homes, we were successful in having 2 families move in, a total of 4 in each home. And it turns out these families from outside of town, so they've eliminated their commute, which they're very happy about. But this provides an opportunity for Mount Sterling to grow as a community. If you look at 4 people in the average house there, the 2 homes, total of 8, and you take that times 50 out here, that could potentially add 200 new citizens to our community. That would be an increase in our community of 10% from its current population this time. So that, in fact, is a great opportunity, and that will benefit us from terms, as Lance was mentioning, more butts in the desk at school, more families in the churches, more citizens up on in the uptown, doing business with the merchants and so forth, which is a great opportunity. But more than that, it really helps the community in other ways too. There will be a lot of property taxes that will be generated from this activity and this construction. There will be a lot more sales taxes that will be generated from people that are participating with our merchants uptown and throughout the county. And there will be $3 million alone that the schools will receive over the first 20 to 25 years. I talked to Van earlier, and he kind of smiled about that as school superintendent. But that will be something that's here. And that will help provide for services in our community, both the city and the county, and certainly support the schools. So it's really kind of a win-win for all. And so because of that, we could not be more excited to be a party to this and see that this happens going forward. But as Lance had mentioned, and of course Dana mentioned at the very beginning, there are a lot of folks that have been involved with this and have made a big difference here. And I truly appreciate their help. It's really been a very cooperative effort throughout the entire community, and that is a community we should be very proud of, because that doesn't always happen. But we've had some great leadership in the community that's really been special, and that have made a big difference. Dusty Buss, certainly with his work, and Veda, and then somebody I'm going to introduce you here pretty quickly, has been a big factor. But also the City Council has provided great leadership in getting to this. And so it's really been a great process and a good work project. I'd like to introduce you, though, the leader that really helped so much is the mayor of Mount Sterling. And certainly without he and the other folks that he works with on the city, couldn't have happened. And that's Mayor Matt Bradbury. So, Matt, you want to say a word? Thank you very much for listening.
Well, there goes part of our infrastructure going to work. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming today. Most of you I know, some I don't. Maybe later I can get to know you. But as Pat said, the biggest thing that I have to offer and for this project to be offered was the community. I also want to take the time to specifically thank the City Council and kind of give a little history as to how this came to fruition from the city's point of view. We've all known that there's been a housing shortage, places not available, and therefore it doesn't allow people to move into our community. But it all started, I think, years ago when people became city officials and thus began going out into the community and having an attitude of being individuals that had a future plan. And I always said, when I became mayor the very first time, people asked me if I was Republican or Democrat. I asked them, what difference does that make? I'm a progressive. I'm looking at 15, 20, 25 years down the road. I wanted to lay the groundwork for things like this to happen 20 years later, 15 years later. I want to specifically thank the City Council for their endeavor and what they do. They do it every month, every week. Some are involved every day and get a minuscule amount of pay for it. So I want to thank them a ton. I want to thank Veda Yingling. She's not only my right hand, but she's also my left hand. She's very busy. I remember when we didn't have a city administrator, and I literally would run my head off trying to figure out how I could get everything done. And we hired one, and that's probably the best thing that this city has ever done as far as governmental affairs. Lastly, I want to thank not only Pat Tracy and Lance and MTS. I want to thank the Diocese of Springfield and also Holy Family for being the catalyst and allowing this project to happen. But lastly, I want to thank the citizens of the community, not only of Mount Sterling, but also of the county. Like Pat said, people come through town. In the last few years, people are so amazed as to the businesses that's opened up, the buildings that have been built in order to allow businesses to flourish, the Uptown project. People are just amazed at how we've been able to grow when they know we're only a town of 2,000. With that being said, I go to places across the state, and you'd be amazed. I was in Charleston a couple months ago, and when somebody found out I was from Mount Sterling, they came up to me and wanted to know how we were doing it. They literally had heard about the Uptown project and so forth and so on, and they were amazed at what we was able to accomplish. And I've told everybody that ever wants to listen to me, which I'm shocked you all are, that it's all about attitude. It's all about pride and attitude and commitment to your community and what you want to do, and it starts with your front yard. And that's the blessing about it is that we have people in this community and the county that want to help and make this a better place. So with that, I appreciate you guys. Am I introducing anybody?
Just back to Dane.
Okay, I'll give you back to Dane.
One more thing to say, though. Please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot two things I need to share. One is just quickly, wanted to talk just a little bit about where the name Neylon came from. 1957, there was a family, a member of Holy Family Parish here, the Pat Neylon family, and he passed away at that time. And his estate, he left these 20 acres to the Holy Family Parish at that point. Since that time, Holy Family Parish, the farmers, the members of the parish have been farming this property. It's helped with expenses and a variety of things. And the parish made this available to us in order to have this very special location for this subdivision here. And so that's the reason we gave it Neylon Farms. We're confident that the Neylon family's up there looking down at all of us right now and smiling and thinking what a great thing this is that their property is able to use for this purpose. So wanted to share that with you. One other thing I wanted to wait till the other thanks were given out. I do want to recognize the Mount Sterling Housing Committee that's done all this work for quite a while that really need to point out to you. The first is Seth Yingling. Seth is our really building expert that's been on the committee and actually built our two homes that I mentioned on East North Street and really been a huge help. Very talkative Lance Grady over here is the super sales guy that's provided a lot of market information. Has really been very helpful. Fred Smith, who's up here to my left, is our out-of-town expert. You know, if you come into town from out of town and you got a briefcase, then you're an expert. Well, Fred actually has got more housing experience from working in the trenches for a long time than any of us together. So, Fred, thank you again for what you've done there. And Bill Mummy, he didn't really get to volunteer for this. He was asked more directly told that he was on the committee, and he's really been a real blessing for us. And but I tell you that the guy of all that's really put the hours and hours and done awful lot of the heavy lifting is Larry Yingling, and Larry is our property development manager. And this could not have happened without his blood, sweat, and tears. And he's also going to be the guy that's really going to make this happen. So, Larry, thanks for your hard and continued work and so forth. Where's he at? There he is. Appreciate that. So, and the final thing is a job for each and every one of you. Go out and tell everybody about Neylon Farms. Tell them about this as an opportunity for them to make their dream come true. And tell tell them to go to our website and to catch our phone number on there and see some more information, see some of how the lots are laid out, and take advantage of this opportunity. So you're the salespeople. Okay, Dane. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Pat. Just super proud of Matt Bradbury. That was a wonderful speech, Mayor. You just do a great job, and you're a wonderful leader. Thank you. If the Neylon Farms Advisory Group, Mayor Bradbury, and the County Board Chairman Dave Farrell would come forward, we will have the groundbreaking ceremony. Okay, gentlemen. 3, 2, 1, let's dig. Okay, everybody, we appreciate everybody coming out today. Again, this is a great occasion for the city of Mount Sterling and everybody involved. So that concludes our program today. As you're leaving, please pick up a box lunch provided by Hagel 1891. We appreciate all of Hagel's help today. Also, if you haven't picked up some literature about Neylon Farms, please do that. Again, thank you for coming today. Appreciate everybody.